Hi everyone, it's Luke. So from this week's reading, I really loved a lot of the talk in the Cultural Center book, the first reading that was listed, discussing different Black cultural centers that arose around the nation. And one of the first things that stood out to me was a lot of the Black cultural centers arose out of student activism and student desire to have them to carve out their own space, and I found that really inspirational, mainly because it really echoes the story of the Pride Center, and I really related to that, and I really loved the focus of student work, and that I found a lot of power in knowing that a lot of history is behind what we're doing, and a lot of that history can really help propel us forward. So I found that really exciting. But what I found really interesting when I was reading was all of the resistance, it just kind of talked about the resistance that Black cultural centers faced by administration when being established, and it blew my mind that people would go so far as to say that students couldn't organize to create a cultural center. One of the other things that I really liked was the Black Studies minor at North Illinois University, because I really loved that the Black Cultural Center was kind of doing that, and it echoed a lot of the education theme of kind of our cultural centers, one, to provide a safe space, but two, to educate, and that having that cultural center make that minor and have it be an academic, a part of their academia, was incredible to me, and it really made me think about what the Pride Center can do with the Queer Studies minor, because with that popping up, there's a lot of room for collaboration and a lot of room for students interning at the Pride Center and just really working to make things grow. And it made me really excited to know that there's other models of universities employing this already, and that there's somewhere that this has already been done, and it's something that I can kind of use for next year to be able to further the Pride Center. But the other institute that I found really interesting was the Malcolm X Institute, MXI, because they talked a lot about how the Malcolm X Institute wasn't a fraternity, and that was reiterated a lot, that there might be a lot of fraternity-like things, but it's not a fraternity, and it made me think, what is a fraternity and what is not a fraternity? Where does the line of a cultural organization not turn into Greek life? And I don't really know, but I pose that question to you. What differentiates the Malcolm X Institute from Greek life? Because reading through, I couldn't figure it out. But what I really liked about the Malcolm X Institute was that it was a lot of camaraderie. They said that word tons of times, but it really resonated with me, that banding together and learning a shared sense of history and being able to find empowerment in history and education was really awesome to see that this was happening. And reading about the different Black cultural centers made me wonder, what's the role of the Pride Center here on campus? And I think the role of the Pride Center is the same role as all of these Black cultural centers, to provide a safe space and to provide education and to provide community and camaraderie, So I got really excited about that. The next reading from Students Helping Students about group facilitation was, for once in this book, it wasn't anything new to me. So, but one thing that I did really like was the 5 stages of group development. That was kind of new for me to see. And I liked the breakdown of the group entering stage, and when I was reading through these, I kind of thought about different groups that I had been a part of, ones that were effective and ones that weren't. And the ones that were effective, I could clearly and easily see these 5 stages, and I loved it. I loved it that I could see a breakdown of how to make a successful group. So with the group entering stage, introductions, kind of icebreakers, getting to know each other a little bit, breaks the tensions. The sorting stage, kind of deciding what this group is going to be about. What are the do's and don'ts, establishing ground rules, things like that. And I was this happens at all the really successful meetings. Then the cohesiveness stage, naming yourself and kind of establishing a shared sense of purpose, creating a group, like actually forming this group and being able to say, I'm a part of this, like this named, tangible thing. The working stage, which is kind of, I think ineffective groups kind of just jump to this stage, they kind of skip maybe the cohesiveness or the sorting stage and just kind of have a cohort of people come together, not even a cohort, but just an aggregate of people come together and kind of try and solve a problem without really ever acquainting yourselves or getting to know each other or learning about each other. And then the renewal stage, just revisiting what you set out to do and what you are doing. But I found the Students Helping Students reading this week pretty interesting, and I was really happy to see that breakdown in the model. So yeah, let me know if you want to respond to me and ask and help me clarify what the difference between a fraternity, like if you can clarify what the difference between the Malcolm X Institute and a fraternity is, that would be awesome, because I'm super curious and I don't know very much about Greek life. But I hope everyone is having a great day, and I'll see you all on Friday. Bye!